Hey guys, back once again. I had to react to this video, man. I had to do it. Hey man, I love this guy, man. His reactions and views are hilarious. This guy's funny as heck, bro. I love watching this guy. Hey, here with his panel, watching the Ngannou Fury fight. Fire. But he just released a video. How Geordie ruined Fury's legacy. Yeah, hey, so let's watch this, yo. Let's watch it together.
Oh my days! Yes! Get in there, my boy! Get up there, my boy! Yeah, remember that? Get up there, you big stiff dosser. Tyson, me and you, misfits. My debut. I think I can take you. I think I can f you up after that. You don't want it with these debut boxers. And all this crossover stuff, we can make some money. Come on, let's have it. They say there is no man born from his mother that could beat Tyson Fury. Well, they're not wrong, because Francis Ngannou wasn't born. He was created in a factory. He's a machine. Remember when John Fury said that? I'm a machine. No, this is the machine. Built to destroy the dictatorship that has reigned over boxing, that has kept boxing from finding out who the baddest man on the planet really is by ducking the hard fights. He took on a debut boxer for an easy payday, and you got made an absolute mug out of, Tyson Fury. You put the phone down on me. I never want to have an interview with you again. I don't want an interview. A bum like you. You can't even beat a guy on day one. Absolute dosser. They call him the Gypsy King.
He's going in on him. Fury. Oh my God, this is insane. Yeah, this is nuts. Yeah, Ngannou won that fight. No question.
Well, the Gypsy King bent the knee to the African King last night. We were wondering who is the baddest man on the planet. We set this bullshit fight up, which was what I thought it was, because we had an MMA guy who was going to pretend like he couldn't destroy Tyson Fury if he wanted to, in any way he wanted to.
Yeah, he literally tried to do that, you know what I'm saying? The flipping Paul brothers tactic, you know what I'm saying? Just can bring out like a random MMA fighter over there, beat him up for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that went wrong, badly wrong. He got beat up. He got left lying down on the ground. That's what happened to him. You don't mess with a gun like that, boy. You don't mess with a legend like that. With that kind of punching power, you don't mess around with that kind of stamina.
In a real fight, but he was going to put these gloves on, abide by the rules, and probably get his head jabbed off by Tyson Fury. But Francis Ngannou did not get that script, and I'm going to tell you exactly fucking why in this video. Now, I'm just going to say from get-go, Francis won that fight. He landed the harder shots. He dropped him. He was the more imposing fighter in that fight, and everyone fucking knows it. But boxing is corrupt as fucking who cares, right? Like, we're used to it at this point. We all know who the real winner was. So for Tyson Fury to have to point at ring rust as a reason... Mate, you've just destroyed your whole fucking legacy in one night, man. Because Francis Ngannou, he didn't have a ring to fucking rust. He's never been in the ring, been in a cage, because he's a caged animal. He's a real dog. And you found that out in there, didn't you, Tyson? You didn't want anything to do with him, running away for the last 2 rounds. Pathetic, actually, that. Pro heavyweight champion boxer against the guy in his first ever fight, and you're on your bike not wanting to go near him. This is just the sweetest one of all this. Like, 37 years old, Francis Ngannou's first ever boxing match, coming off the back of a huge knee injury, 2 actual knee problems, 18 months out of the cage. So it's actually been longer since he had a fight than Tyson Fury, trained by Mike Tyson, who's never actually been a boxing coach before, ironically. And he bullied Tyson Fury. I'm gonna say it again, bullied Tyson Fury. All of that chat.
Yeah, Fury got run out of that ring, bro. He just got bullied, bro, for real. He just got bullied, bro. He right. True Geordie is right.
About big Tyson thinking he's this big man, looking down on everyone else around him. When you kick people on the way up, we're going to remember when you fall. And that's what today is all about. It's the fucking humbling of the Gypsy King. And it's the sweetest one, man. Because this guy has been such a prick for too long now. And to get embarrassed by a guy who's never had a boxing match before. You're a gypsy clown. You're not a gypsy king. Tyson Fury, he let down boxing. You're supposed to be this great heavyweight champion. You've compared yourself to Muhammad Ali. Never say that man's name again. You will let down boxing. You've let down the Fury name. Oh, Big John has been calling this man a Greek god for how long? I hope he's all right. Can we get someone to check on John? Get a phone call. Is he okay? I am worried because in the last 2 weeks, his boys have been exposed by guys who apparently don't know how to box. The great Fury legacy in flames. I've been watching At Home with the Furies, and every time Tyson's in a bad mood, Paris gets it in the neck. So let's all pray for her because her ear will be getting chewed off by the big baby that he is. Big baby. Watch that show. He's an absolute whingy man. The funniest thing about this is, like, MMA fans have had a decade of boxing fans chatting shit about MMA, this, that, and the other. Mate, these MMA boys, they're not to be with. Like, in a real situation, stay away. There's a reason boxers don't go in the cage. And MMA fans have had their last laugh today. Like, they are loving it. And Francis Ngannou has just called into question everything we ever thought about Tyson Fury, the entire legacy. When you look at Fury's legacy, it's really lacking any good fighters. It really is. The two that he's fought, that he beat, Klitschko, yeah, he outboxed him, but it was a horrendous fight, and it wasn't like he put a beating on him. And then when it came time for the rematch, didn't want to know, went running. Deontay Wilder, one-trick pony. All right, hell of a one-trick, but he's hardly the best boxer ever. This is what I was talking about the fights with Chisora and Dillian White. We don't get any idea of how good a fighter is by fighting fighters like that, who are beaten before the fight even took place, who aren't even really trying to win the fight. And as I said, Francis did not get the memo. Why? Because we're talking about a man who was born in the hardest of circumstances. As they've told you, worked in the sand mines at 11 years old, smuggled himself over into France, was homeless, had a brutal time, did anything he could just to get a little bit of training in with MMA, found it late in life, in fact. This is not a man who was a born fighter. Imagine Francis Ngannou was in a boxing gym for as long as Tyson Fury. He would have fucking taken his head off and fucking punted it into Rosette. That's not even including the hell that Francis had to go through with Dana White, which I'm going to get onto in another video. Francis is a I'll fight anyone, anytime, anywhere kind of guy. He's not trying to cherry pick fights and avoid the hard fights like Fury has done for fucking years. And in that fight, it showed who the real champion was. It's so funny that people thought I was wrong about Usyk beating Tyson Fury when I noticed how sluggish he was against Chisora, against White. But we're going against those two plotters. He wasn't going to get exposed for it, but I fucking seen it. And everyone else gets to see it now. Tyson Fury, if we're being honest, should retire after that shit show. A guy on day one just bullied you. Give it up, mate. He probably can't because he wants all the fucking money. So he's going to go in there and he's going to get his fucking head taken off at some point. It's going to happen now. Unless he changes some major things, but I don't think he's going to. He's too old, too long in the tooth now to do that. The fire has been put out, and Francis Ngannou extinguished it. Tyson Fury didn't even show up to the press conference, mate. How humiliated. And we all know Fury doesn't like the hard questions. Well, put the phone down. Remember that? Well,
when you don't turn to a press conference, you know you just got clapped. Yes, you know you lost the fight. You don't show up to a press conference, you've lost the fight, bro. You've lost. Mentally, literally, you've lost the fight. You've committed a robbery in terms of like a W, bro. You didn't get a W, you took an L.
He doesn't want to even face the media at this point. That's how humiliated he's been. Because when you talk all that shit about how you're going to get Francis out there within a few rounds and you're going to make him look like a table tennis player against Novak Djokovic, and then he beats the shit out of you, you absolute fucking idiot. So let's give Francis his flowers, because I didn't think he could box like that, because we've never seen him box like that before. We've not seen any of this in the UFC. It's been very chaotic, wild, and extreme in there. Extreme violence, might add. I said this on the stream. When Francis Ngannou brutalizes an opponent, you're like, like, it ain't no fucking boxing clinic. It's brutal. It looks like something you'd see on World Star. But in that ring, he fought like a boxer. A domineering champion boxer. He was the aggressor. He landed the heavier shots. His punching accuracy was really decent for a guy who's in his first fucking fight. He was switch hitting. He Fury was patient and calm. He showed the cool head of a champion. When he was in the clinch with Fury thought, I'll lean on him like I did Wilder. You were f***ing 50 to 70 pounds heavier than Wilder. This is a man who's more of a man than you. He's stronger than you. Throw you around like a fucking rag doll. Do whatever he wants with Fury in a real fight. I said it. Be minutes maximum. And then he dropped him. And when he dropped him, he shook up the world, man. Like, literally, I think Conor McGregor's hair plugs popped out in the first row. It was that much of an unbelievable moment. And it wasn't a fluke. He'd been looking for that counter left hook from the first round. Watch it back. The body shots, actually, credit to Mike Tyson. There's footage of Mike Tyson showing how he set up the jab, then the right hand to the body. And Francis executed it in the ring to perfection. And when Fury did try and hurt him, he ate those punches like sandwiches. You call that a punch? Do you know what I've been dealing with in the UFC? 4-ounce gloves from big monsters who hit way harder than Tyson Fury. Gonna have to take more than that, son. And Fury realised that. And he realised when he was committing to try and hurt Francis, Francis was hitting him back. And it was way harder. So what Fury did was start flicking the jab out and got on his bike and ran the f*** away towards the end. He did not want to trade. That was the most timid, scared version of Tyson Fury we've ever seen in a boxing match. Even against Wilder, when Wilder dropped him, what did he do? He went straight ahead and put it on him. Or in other fights, he went in and tried to lean on him and wrestle him. With Francis, he knew he couldn't do either of those things. Stay the f*** away. That's what he did. I'm gonna flick that jab out so I'm connecting with you and racking up points, but I ain't gonna f***ing fight you because you'll f***ing beat the shit out of me. The beauty of this is if Francis had won by a knockout, which was just like one shot early on, boom, there'd be a reason to go, all right, that was lucky, run it back, that won't happen again. He beat the f*** out of him. He bullied him. I can't believe I'm saying this. And I was the one who was giving Francis as much credit as anyone before the fight. I mean, I didn't think he could box the way he did, but I kept telling everyone, when you're in a room with this man, and I've been in a room with both guys, Fury ain't intimidating. Francis Ngannou gives off the aura of a god among men, man. He seems like he could fucking kill any of us whenever he wants. You can feel it. He's not even trying to be intimidating. He's a lovely guy. We're lucky he's a nice guy. And I said he had a better chance than Conor McGregor because the Francis Ngannou
True. Francis has that aura, bro. Like if he touches you, you turn to dust, bro. Just the kind of power that he just wields. This is the kind of guy. That's why people call him the baddest man on the planet. There's a reason for that. This guy's he's the entity, bro. He's not a human being. He's something else. He's some kind of deity, bro. This guy's he's got like god level power. I don't know what the heck is. It's crazy. He feels like he's touching you. It doesn't even feel like he's hitting you with a hard punch. He hits you, and it's like your soul just feels it. It's crazy.
Power ain't like McGregor's power. McGregor was exposed for being a weight bully, and when he came up past 145, it didn't translate the same way, and it certainly didn't translate in boxing. I knew Francis is a different beast. He's the alpha male, this motherfucker. And I know a lot of MMA fighters are going to get gassed up and start calling out boxers right now. Slow your roll, lads. Because heavyweight, boxing or MMA, the skill level is less important than any other weight class, because to move technically at heavyweight is very hard. So a lot of the time it does come down to who's the better athlete, who hits harder. And at heavyweight MMA and heavyweight boxing, that is the closest gap by a mile. The further down you go, the wider it'll get. And Francis is a freak of nature. Let's not kid ourselves. It was a big win for MMA, but MMA fighter shouldn't be getting overconfident right now. Francis is a 1 in a million. A 1 in a million that Dana White let slip through his fingers. And Dana White, ironically, fumbled the bag. We're going to get onto that in another video though. And the beauty of this is after the attitude that Fury has had, where he's above everyone and can't be told that he's not fighting the best guys, the proof was in the pudding. Those fights against Chisora and White were bullshit because they weren't live dogs. And Ngannou was a live dog, and he got exposed for taking those easy fights, but also I think he got exposed for just not being as good as people thought he was. People can say, oh, he didn't look the same, yada yada yada. Fury isn't as good as we thought. As great as Francis is, the man's 37 and has never had a boxing match in his life. I noticed that Fury had slowed down previously, and with the Usyk fight coming up, I knew Usyk would be way too much for him, and I've never been more convinced of that in my life. And don't get me wrong, Francis hurting Tyson doesn't prove that that's an automatic win for Usyk, but you can see the decline of the guy, man. He was propped up by those shit fights he's had recently. The truth is out there now, and he thought he'd hide it long enough so that he would make enough money and he wouldn't get exposed until it was the very last fight against the Usyk where he'd cash in, and he's already been exposed now. We've all seen it. And you just think when Ngannou drops Fury, if that had been in a cage, I mean, Ngannou could have just lifted him up and slammed him on his head whenever he wanted, but let's just say it was in a cage. That very moment, every boxing fan, every Fury fan, understand this. Francis Ngannou would have rushed him and caved his fucking skull into that canvas until there was nothing left. We all know who the real bad motherfucker in fighting is now, and it is not Tyson Fury. He's not the greatest ever, and all the shit John Fury's been talking has been exposed as a steaming pile of bollocks. The legacy's over now. It's finished, man. Everything's been after this. Francis Ngannou's just destroyed his entire life's work in one night. Looking at the stats, they tell the tale. Fury did land more jabs, as we would have expected. Francis ate them like sandwiches, not a problem, mate. Plenty more where that come from. Keep them coming. And Ngannou landed more powerful shots, and that was crystal clear. But the stat that tells the biggest tale of the tape is that Tyson Fury threw less punches than Francis Ngannou. Do you know why that is? Because he was hesitating. Because he didn't want to trade with Francis. Because he knew the more I trade, the more I'm getting hurt. And that tells you exactly why Francis Ngannou won this fight. He didn't want to commit because he feared what was coming back. So he just flicked that little jab out and kept it moving. And this is the problem with boxing, because in all of the sports, we find out who the best guy is in a tournament. With Fury, he's avoided all these best guys. There's probably young heavyweights right now who'd Fury up, but because he's marketing wise so much ahead of the game, he can be like, oh, there's nothing in it for me, oh, I don't make enough money if I take these guys. And that's what he did. That's why he chose to fight Chisora for a third fucking time. But he's being exposed now by a guy in his first ever fight. Tyson Fraudy is what they should be calling this geezer now. Absolute fraud. And this is what you get when you try and con the British public into paying all that money for some shit fights and what you thought was an easy fight against Francis Ngannou, and your greed lands you flat on your fucking back. Another easy payday, another easy payday. You fucked up when you picked the wrong guy in Francis Ngannou. And it's funny because Tyson's a religious man and greed is a sin. That was a good line, that, wasn't it? Oh, sizzling that, innit? You could put that in a frying pan. He couldn't have knocked Francis out with a fucking frying pan. So what next? Well, if you're a fighting man, as they've been saying for God knows how long, you give the guy a rematch. He beat the shit out of you. You got robbed on the judges. Even...
Yeah, give him a rematch, bro. Rematch. Give him Ngannou his match back, bro. Give him his lip back, bro. Hey, he needs to get back. No dodgy judges. Head up, rematch.
Even if you think you won, it was razor close. Even if you believe that, you know it was razor close. And you should want to right that wrong if you're a defending heavyweight champion, which he's not, because he's got more fucking kids than he's got heavyweight title defenses. But let's put your money where your mouth is. If you're a fighting man, it's a rematch automatically to Francis Ngannou. You don't want to see anyone else until you've sorted this out, because you've been publicly embarrassed. But if you know you got your ass kicked and you're scared, then you won't give him a rematch. So which is it? We'll find out, won't we? Because I'll be here to fucking call him out. Believe me. As for the Usyk fight, I'm really a bit meh about that now, because it should be Ngannou too. But I think every single heavyweight is licking their fucking lips after that. But the truth is, not everyone can do what Francis did. There's a lot of people now going to be going, oh, well, AJ could have done that, and Wilder could have done that, and this guy could. And maybe they could. But Francis deserves all the credit. Maybe we could see AJ versus Ngannou if Ngannou gets fucked out of the rematch. And that's a totally different fight, and it's an exciting one. And I'm just happy that Francis Ngannou, who took the hardest road possible in life, is going to get what he deserves, which is all that fucking money, son. Well done. Honestly, I'm delighted for him. I met him. He's a...
Hey, if he wants to go the boxing route, he's got an easy job, because hey, with the amount of power and skill he has, Ngannou is a flipping champion. Any sport he takes up, UFC, boxing, it doesn't matter. He's gonna take you out. This guy is special, and Ngannou is special. Let's just say that, bro. Not only in the flipping fighting sports, he's as special as Ngannou. He's a different beast than everything else. He's, as True Geordie said, the alpha male. That's what he is.
A great guy, and he is an inspiration. The real life.
Plus a nice guy as well. So don't have enough of those in especially those sports. Boxing or a UFC, that genuine nice guy who's just a destroyer. He reminds me of like Lashley from WWE, Bobby Lashley, monster, but one of the nicest guys in the world, bro.
Rocky Balboa is Francis Ngannou. Rocky was a movie. We've just seen it. A guy who was never supposed to be in there with the heavyweight champion of the world in boxing. First ever big fight, just like Rocky. But he's real. The fact that the UFC fumbled the bag so much on him, I'm going to rip them a new one in that next video because my days. But he bet on himself and he won. Just on the Usyk fight before I leave, let's remember what Tyson Fury said about if Usyk wanted to push the date back. This was when someone said that Usyk might be not able to make the date of December 23rd. Only 7 weeks away. Not great after an arse kicking.
Usyk has to fight me in December. He doesn't have a choice. He signed a contract, so if he doesn't, he's breached contract and he gets sued.
Well then, I guess that means you'll be taking the fight, Tyson. No excuses. We'll look forward to seeing you December 23rd against Usyk. Something tells me the big dosser might change his mind. Anyway, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the Pain Game YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.
Oh man, that was a great review, man. That was a great. I love his reviews. His reviews are the best. I'll start reacting to more of his stuff, man. But yeah, man. True Geordie. Well done, man. That was an incredible review. Facts. All you said there was facts. And Ngannou is the world heavyweight champion, and there's no one that's gonna tell me otherwise, bro. But yeah, like, share, subscribe. Go follow the True Geordie, man, over there. Subscribe to the Pain Game, you know what I'm saying? Watch the live streams that he's got on his channel. Hey, man, I'm out. Peace.